A man's face is his autobiography. A woman's face is her work of fiction. Never marry at all, Dorian. Men marry because they are tired, women because they are curious. Both are disappointed. Anybody can sympathize with the sufferings of a friend, but it requires a very fine nature to sympathize with a friend's success. I have nothing to declare except my genius. Fashion is a form of ugliness so intolerable that we have to alter it every 6 months. Whenever people agree with me, I always feel I must be wrong. No good deed goes unpunished. Morality is simply the attitude we adopt towards people we personally dislike. After a good dinner, one can forgive anybody, even one's own relations. Life is far too important a thing ever to talk seriously about. Some things are more precious because they don't last long. Yet each man kills the thing he loves. By each let this be heard. Some do it with a bitter look, some with a flattering word. The coward does it with a kiss, the brave man with a sword. I like men who have a future and women who have a past. The world is a stage and the play is badly cast. We live in an age when unnecessary things are our only necessities. To lose one parent, Mr. Worthing, may be regarded as a misfortune. To lose both looks like carelessness. I choose my friends for their good looks, my acquaintances for their good characters, and my enemies for their good intellects. Art is the only serious thing in the world, and the artist is the only person who is never serious. Humanity takes itself too seriously. It is the world's original sin. If the caveman had known how to laugh, history would have been different. Every woman is a rebel. Live the wonderful life that is in you. Let nothing be lost upon you. Be always searching for new sensations. Be afraid of nothing. Only dull people are brilliant at breakfast. To get back my youth, I would do anything in the world, except take exercise, get up early, or be respectable. A bore is someone who deprives you of solitude without providing you with company. Nowadays, most people die of a sort of creeping common sense, and discover when it is too late that the only things one never regrets are one's mistakes. Nothing can cure the soul but the senses, just as nothing can cure the senses but the soul. There are only two kinds of people who are really fascinating: people who know absolutely everything, and people who know absolutely nothing. Words. Mere words. How terrible they were! How clear, and vivid, and cruel! One could not escape from them. And yet what a subtle magic there was in them! They seemed to be able to give a plastic form to formless things, and to have a music of their own as sweet as that of viol or of lute. Mere words! Was there anything so real as words? Every portrait that is painted with feeling is a portrait of the artist, not of the sitter. How can a woman be expected to be happy with a man who insists on treating her as if she were a perfectly normal human being? Everything in moderation, including moderation. The world is changed because you are made of ivory and gold. The curves of your lips rewrite history. If you are not long, I will wait for you all my life. There are moments when one has to choose between living one's own life, fully, entirely, completely, or dragging out some false, shallow, degrading existence that the world in its hypocrisy demands. America is the only country that went from barbarism to decadence without civilization in between. Society often forgives the criminal. It never forgives the dreamer. The public have an insatiable curiosity to know everything, except what is worth knowing. An idea that is not dangerous is unworthy of being called an idea at all. I may not agree with you, but I will defend to the death your right to make an ass of yourself. Laughter is not at all a bad beginning for a friendship, and it is by far the best ending for one. There is no sin except stupidity. There is no such thing as a moral or an immoral book. Books are well written, or badly written. That is all. Men always want to be a woman's first love. That is their clumsy vanity. We women have a more subtle instinct about these things. What women like is to be a man's last romance. Paradoxically though it may seem, it is none the less true that life imitates art far more than art imitates life. Indeed, I have always been of the opinion that hard work is simply the refuge of people who have nothing to do. Life is too short to learn German. I have grown to love secrecy. It seems to be the one thing that can make modern life mysterious or marvelous to us. The commonest thing is delightful if only one hides it. The nicest feeling in the world is to do a good deed anonymously and have somebody find out. One should never trust a woman who tells one her real age. A woman who would tell one that would tell one anything. I always pass on good advice. It is the only thing to do with it. It is never of any use to oneself. Whenever a man does a thoroughly stupid thing, it is always from the noblest motives. The good ended happily, and the bad unhappily. That is what fiction means. Women have a much better time than men in this world. There are far more things forbidden to them. You must have a cigarette. A cigarette is the perfect type of a perfect pleasure. It is exquisite, and it leaves one unsatisfied. What more can one want? One should never trust a woman who speaks of her real age. A woman who would tell one that would tell one everything. There are many things that we would throw away if we were not afraid that others might pick them up. Yes, death. Death must be so beautiful. To lie in the soft brown earth, with the grasses waving above one's head, and listen to silence. To have no yesterday, and no tomorrow. To forget time, to forget life, to be at peace. You can help me. You can open for me the portals of death's house, for love is always with you, and love is stronger than death is. Death must be so beautiful. To lie in the soft brown earth, with the grasses waving above one's head, and listen to silence. To have no yesterday, and no tomorrow. To forget time, to forgive life, to be at peace. She is all the great heroines of the world in one. She is more than an individual. I love her, and I must make her love me. I want to make Romeo jealous. I want the dead lovers of the world to hear our laughter, and grow sad. I want a breath of our passion to stir dust into consciousness, to wake their ashes into pain. Yet each man kills the thing he loves. By each let this be heard. Some do it with a bitter look. Some with a flattering word. The coward does it with a kiss. The brave man with a sword. Some kill their love when they are young, and some when they are old. Some strangle with the hands of gold. The kindest use a knife, because the dead so soon grow cold. Some love too little, some too long. Some sell and others buy. Some do the deed with many tears, and some without a sigh. For each man kills the thing he loves. Yet each man does not die. There is a luxury in self-reproach. When we blame ourselves, we feel that no one else has a right to blame us. It is the confession, not the priest, that gives us absolution. Keep love in your heart. A life without it is like a sunless garden when the flowers are dead. The consciousness of loving and being loved brings a warmth and a richness to life that nothing else can bring. Men marry because they are tired, women because they are curious. Both are disappointed. Always. That is a dreadful word. It makes me shudder when I hear it. Women are so fond of using it. They spoil every romance by trying to make it last forever. It is a meaningless word, too. The only difference between a caprice and a lifelong passion is that the caprice lasts a little longer. Because to influence a person is to give him one's own soul. He does not think his natural thoughts, or burn with his natural passions. His virtues are not real to him. His sins, if there are such things as sins, are borrowed. He becomes an echo of someone else's music, an actor of a part that has not been written for him. The aim of life is self-development. To realize one's nature perfectly, that is what each of us is here for. People are afraid of themselves nowadays. They have forgotten the highest of all duties, the duty that one owes to oneself. Of course they are charitable. They feed the hungry and clothe the beggar. But their own souls starve and are naked. Courage has gone out of our race. Perhaps we never really had it. The terror of society, which is the basis of morals, the terror of God, which is the secret of religion, these are the two things that govern us. If you like all Oscar Wilde's quotes, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and of course don't forget to press the bell icon.